All right, first at the podium, Mark Vital. If you have a question for Mark, please use the raise hand function. First up, John Werner with the Waco Tribune-Herald.
Mark, could you have had a better senior day?
I couldn't, man. I try to put everything I had left in the tank into that, and a lot of people was doubting me at one point, saying that they felt that I lost it and they felt that I didn't have the energy. And I try to put everything into this moment right here, and man, it's amazing right now. It's an amazing feeling, and that's good momentum going into the next, the tournament and the NCAA tournament also. But man, today was a special day for me and MaCio and Mark Patterson.
Mark, any chance you'll come back for a sixth year?
Man, I wish, man. I'm gonna keep it honest with you guys, man. I think I did all I can for Baylor, man, and I put so much sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears into it. I mean, I think I did everything I can, and I'm ready to go to the next level and pursue whatever I got next. But I got unfinished business still to do here. But nah, man, the villain not returning, man. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mark.
John, maybe you took 6 years in college. I think Mark's only going to need 5. All right, next question from Stephen Hawkins at the Associated Press.
Hey, Mark, you talk about giving everything you got today. There was one particular play I wanted to ask you about. I think you probably know which one, the one going out of bounds and getting the ball back from one of those threes that Teague hit. Just talk about that whole play and then talk about what MaCio did all day.
So, man, I knew MaCio was going to have a special game because he felt that and shooting around that the hoop was super big from the jump. And that particular play right there, man, like, I know for a fact if I didn't give it my all on that play knowing that I can get it, I would have been sick. I would have been mad right now because I know I can get that ball, and I had to get it. And when I got it and I threw it to MaCio, what better way to throw it to a senior? And he hit man, it was crazy. And then the whole building went crazy. That particular play right there, I had to go into my Rodman mode, Dennis Rodman, the worm mode, and, go ahead and get that ball because I know I can get that. And I can prove a lot of people that I'm still the villain and everything like that also.
Next question from Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider.
Mark, you talked about knowing that MaCio was going to have a good senior day. Did you have that same feeling for you, and why didn't you shoot a 3 today?
Man, because I know, man, look, listen. Because I guess I don't know how to answer. All right, so with MaCio, man, he was saying before the game, I was just watching. I watched my players and see what they got, and then he was just shooting, and he was just making so many, and then some of them was just all net. That Kobe being one of both our favorite players, I knew that he was gonna have a special night, and his parents was in the building also. And for me to shoot the threes, I know that was my senior night and everything, but I still have to play my role. It's still my job. Me throwing one of them things up, man. I know it would have been cool and all, but that's still I still got to win the game.
You did have a double-double, though, your first of the year, third of your career, I believe.
Yeah.
And you got it with the dunk. You got your 10th point with the dunk.
Same way I came in. I came in with a dunk. I finished with a dunk. And, man, that's crazy, man. Like, I understand I ain't got that juice like I have right now because it's an emotional moment, man. It's crazy, man, because these guys put so much work into it. And Davion told me that he going to give me that double-double. And that next play, he threw me that alley, and I dunked it. And I pointed to my family that came from Louisiana, my mom, my dad, and even Coach Drew, because I knew that right there set the tone for me, knowing that I did all I can do. That put that closed the book right there. I was really trying to go for my career high in rebounds, low-key.
Thanks, Mark.
Next question from Chuck Carlton with the Dallas Morning News.
Yeah, congratulations on the win. You've got the Big 12 tournament ahead of you. I know you're not really thinking about it right now, but you've accomplished as a team a lot of firsts this year. Don't know if you're aware, but no Texas school has ever won the Big 12 conference tournament. Is that something that you'd like to add to the resume this year?
I didn't know that. Yeah? Oh, really? Man. No, that's motivation right there. Yeah, of course. We want to do that. Yeah, let's do that. For sure. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, I didn't know that. I'm glad you said that. What's your name again?
Chuck Carlton, Dallas Morning News.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, I'm glad you said that, man. You got me motivated now. I'm going to go ahead and let my mom and them cook me some good old food tonight, and then I'm back to it.
Next question from David Smoke with Sikkim 365.
Mark, considering all of what you guys have been through from almost this time a year ago, and even what you dealt with yourself at times personally, how much more of a blessing is tonight or today, and really what you've accomplished, knowing there are more goals to get?
It's showing you that in life in general, that no matter how high you get or where you at, that you always got to keep moving on and keep moving forward. And no matter how high you is at the top, you still got goals and things you got to do. You know, it's a big, big world, and a lot of stuff you got to feel in it. So for us to go out there and win the Big 12, now we got the tournament, and now we're going to win the national championship. I ain't say we're going to win a national championship, man. Like, that's something that's motivational.
Next question from Kendall Kaut with Our Daily Bears.
Mark, over the summer, you mentioned you came close to going pro and not returning to school. With what you achieved this season, are you pretty happy? I take it you came back.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy, man. 'Cause I won the Big 12, and that was one of my goals. And before I left, I told Coach Drew when I committed here that I was gonna get one, and I got one. So that's what's so emotional about it, 'cause we manifest that, man. Like, we've been saying that we need to get one of those, and hopefully, man, I get Defensive Player of the Year to set the tone. That's what I need, man, because I know I'm the best defender in the country, and I need that.
Next question from Nikki Latarulo with KCEN TV in Waco.
Hey, Mark. So you've been committed to Baylor from when you were, like, long before you could even come here. And then your high school coach came onto the video board before the game. What was that like? I saw your emotion. Did you know he was going to talk to you?
Nah, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. Nah, it shocked me, man, because I honestly didn't know that he was gonna do that. You know, that surprised me, and hearing it from him, because he's a big role model, he's a big piece of what I do. That really, really like motivated me, and I was in tears, as you can see. I was in tears. You all right?
All right, that's it from Mark. Thanks, Mark, for your time. Really appreciate
I
it.
got a question. Hey, How does it feel to get 10? You tied the history and 3-pointers. Can you please tell the people how that feels?
It felt great. A lot of the work I put in seemed to pay off tonight, but shout out to the guys on the team. I mean, they kept finding me, kept telling me to shoot the basketball. Flo set great screens. Mark saved one, got me a 3. Jared found me on the opposite side of the floor. Davion found me. Guys on the bench was yelling at me, telling me to shoot. So it's a lot of thanks goes to those guys.
No better way to go, huh, bro?
A national championship.
All right, thanks, Mark. Appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
All 5 years.
All 5 years. All right, my boy. All right, bro.
Next up at the podium, we got MaCio Teague. Tied the Baylor record with 10 3-pointers. First to have 10 3-pointers in a Big 12 conference game at Baylor. First question comes from John Werner with the Waco Tribune-Herald.
MaCio, could you have imagined a better senior day?
Not a better one. I feel like everybody was involved. A lot of guys got shots, and just felt like we did a great job sharing the ball. So I'm happy for everybody as a unit. And we're going 14-0 at home. It's never been done here. Well, it has in like 1940 something. I don't really know, but just happy for the guys, like the coaches who've been here, built the program from the bottom, and just happy for my teammates.
MaCio, I asked Mark the same question. Any chance you would come back?
What was that?
I asked Mark the same question. Is there any chance you would come back for another senior year?
I think my eligibility here is up.
Mace, could you pull that mic up just a little bit for us? Thank
Yeah,
you.
I got you.
All right, next question from Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider.
How special was that, MaCio, when Mark saved that ball in bounds and you made the 3?
Yeah, that was. I think that might have been my favorite play of the game. Like, I just saw Mark run into the corner, and I was yelling at him, so he saved it right there to me, and I just turned around and shot it. And I think the coaches and stuff were surprised that I shot it, but when it went in, there's no questions to be asked. Like, Coach Drew, he'll be happy about it in the film or whatever. So as long as it goes in, that answers everything.
And Mark mentioned it, that you said something about how big the rim looked in pregame shoot-around. How big did it look today?
It felt really good when I did my pregame shooting with Matt Gray and Rim Backamus, passing me the ball and stuff like that. Like, I felt like I got into a really good rhythm shooting the ball, not only today but yesterday. And just wanted to continue to get shots up in the game, make or miss. West Virginia, I missed a lot of shots. And I kept shooting. My teammates kept telling me to shoot, and tonight it went in, so just happy.
Next question from Kendall Cout with Art of the Bears.
MaCio, I'll ask you about the two that you made. You had the free throw, you got the offensive rebound, you kind of paused in the lane and made that. How did you not get sped up in kind of that situation when you might have a 3-second violation, but you were able to make it?
We play like our guards. We play in the post every day, like especially me, myself, Davion, and Obim Okeke. He's a grad assistant here now. Played on the team last year. Like we play out the post, and we play one-on-one like at least 3-4 times a week. We just check up and play one-on-one in the post. So it wasn't anything to get sped up about. Like I practiced it before.
MaCio, when you look back, obviously you met with some NBA teams this summer and decided to return. How happy are you now with that decision to come back to Baylor?
Really happy, mainly because we're winning as a unit. It's just not about me. It's about the entire team, and just really happy with my decision that you see my shirt is the champion. So we obviously won a lot, and I'm happy that we're winning so far.
Next question from Chuck Carlton with Dallas Morning News.
I know you're still savoring this game, the win, the senior night, everything else, but looking ahead to the Big 12 tournament, didn't know if you were aware, but in the history of the conference, no Texas team has ever won the Big 12 conference tournament. Is that something you guys would like to, add to your resume of first that you've already accomplished this year?
Of course, we want to win as much as possible. And there's been no team from Oklahoma that's won it either. So we definitely want to win as much as possible. Since it's been in Kansas City, no team from Oklahoma has won it either. So we just want to go out there and compete as hard as we can at a high level.
And a quick follow-up, a lot of people were looking at the Iowa State and Kansas games. Do you guys have your mojo back now? Are you guys back all the way from the 21-day layoff?
I would say that we're pretty locked in offensively and defensively. We still got some areas we need to improve in. We're going to watch film coming up soon, and we're just going to continue to get better as the season goes on.
Final question from MaCio is from Chris Williams with KWTX TV in Waco.
MaCio, were you able to find some time during the game today to just let it all soak in, maybe step back and just enjoy the Farrell Center one last time?
No, not really. We were locked in. It's a 40-minute game. Maybe after the game, it was pretty joyful, seeing everybody happy, seeing everybody with their championship T-shirts on, the hats and stuff like that. Coach Drew is really happy for him. Coach Tang, we've been here for 18 years together. And, I'm like, we still got more games to play. So, we still have hopefully a lot more games to play. So it's not over yet.
And you are still building it, but what do you see the legacy of this senior class is going to be once you guys are gone?
Hopefully one of the best senior classes to ever come through here. I don't want to say the best. I mean, people argue about who's the best all the time, but that's subjective to your opinion. And we just want to leave an impact and maybe help bring recruits in the following year and make Baylor like the place to be, like a cool place to be. We want to keep prospects coming into Baylor because it's a successful program.
All right, that's all we have for MaCio. Mace, thanks for your time.
No problem. Here comes the net man.
Coach is going to start us off with an opening statement, then we'll open it up for questions.
Well, senior nights are always nervous times for coaches because you know it's the last time your seniors are going to be on the court and it's their last memory, and you want to make it a great one. And I tell you, if you wanted to draw it up, you couldn't draw it up any better than MaCio going 10 for 12 from 3, scoring 35. Mark Vidal with 10 points, 15 rebounds. That's what seniors are supposed to do on senior night, and I know our coaching staff's really happy for them.
First question for Coach Drew comes from John Werner with the Waco Tribune-Herald.
Scott, how fun was that having that ceremony and just the whole thing out there?
Well, we've been second several times, and it's sure nice to be first and see the guys be able to celebrate from all their hard work. As you know, we've been in the conference tournament finals, championship 3 times, seen the other teams celebrate. We finished second, I think, 3 times in the regular season, seen other people have a chance to celebrate, and it's nice that we finally had our turn.
Did you think it was kind of fitting that both MaCio and Mark had that kind of senior day?
Yeah, no question. I couldn't draw it up any better. That had to be a God thing. So to see both of them, and especially Mark with his jaw and the swollenness and the tenderness to be able to compete and play at such a high level.
Next question from Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider.
Scott, that focus that you've had, after you clinch it to come back and win these couple of games, what does that say about this team and maybe about the seniors that they were able to stay focused even with everything kind of decided?
No question. Their toughness coming back, being able to win against Iowa State, compete against K-State, Kansas, to win at West Virginia, and then to beat Oklahoma State on a short turnaround. And again, you look at it, Texas Tech had won 3 in a row, which was, I think, the longest win streak in the Big 12. Oklahoma State had won, 5 in a row. Kansas was on a real hot streak. And so we've been playing teams. West Virginia was on a roll. So we've played teams that have really been hitting their stride, and the toughness of the guys to play when we were coming back and get wins, and then once we clinched it, to be able to concentrate and focus and be determined, because in the Big 12, if you don't have that toughness, you're not winning, and for the guys to do that shows their maturity.
Scott, you had a pretty good view of it. That play where Mark saved it from going out of bounds and kind of finished the MaCio. Can you talk about that play?
Yeah, that was an amazing hustle play, and 2 seniors leaving all out on the Farrell Center, and first time being undefeated since 1948. Plays like that will get it done. So hopefully Sports Center recognizes that one.
Next question from Jason King with Sikkim 365.
Scott, what was that like for you personally? The whole celebration. You talked about how neat it was for your players, but just to stand on top of that ladder in the middle of the Farrell Center and looking at it, all that confetti and everything, and snipping those, what were the emotions like for you?
Well, definitely a lot more excited for the players being able to celebrate it, and the fans and everybody else getting up there. I'm scared of heights, so I really don't like being up on that ladder. But just to see everyone else happy, that's what makes me the happiest. And again, all their hard work. I'm so glad it paid off.
Was there any moment that stood out to you? Something someone may have said, or something that especially made you kind of sentimental, or?
I've been emotional all day, so I was just praying God help me to keep it together, because every time you think about what these guys have achieved and what they've done for our program, you tend to get emotional. So I really was leaning on him today to just stay focused, and because Texas Tech's an unbelievable team, which we know, and they're not going to go away, and they're not going to beat themselves. So it took a performance of 63% from 3, and our guys playing at their best to get the win.
Next question from Chuck Carlton with Dallas Morning News.
Hey, Scott, I know you're still savoring this and trying to come down a little bit emotionally. You do have the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City, and as you probably know pretty well, no Texas school has ever won the Big 12 tournament. I know you're focused on the big picture, but how nice would it be to kind of snap that streak and add that to your resume of things that you've accomplished this year?
No question. It's a first-class tournament. Even in the COVID protocols and environment, the support recognition and the way everything's run by the Big 12 just prepares you for the NCAA. And it's a heck of an honor when you have 7 top 25 teams competing in it. Whoever wins that, it's an unbelievable feeling, I'm sure, because I've seen 3 teams celebrate and they look pretty happy. So I know our guys would love to be the first, but I know there's going to be 10 teams up there really battling, and it'll make for great TV, and coaches will lose some hair. The good thing is I know our guys love a challenge, so they'll be excited.
Next question from Kendall Cout.
Wait,
Oh.
Chuck, are we done? Is the pool over? I mean, are we back to normal or not? I'm just checking on you.
As normal as my life can be, Scott. So,
Okay, because I had someone send a resume. They were looking to be a lifeguard in your pool.
Forward that.
Okay.
Next question from Kendall Cout with our Daily Bears.
Scott, you were the coach when Mackay and Brady both went 9 of 12 from 3. How kind of surprised or that somebody could top that?
Man, I tell you, when you're seeing that, it's just as a coach, you're like, get him the ball, and our team does a great job normally finding the hot guy. And again, in those performances, they made shots, but what's incredible is the toughness with making shots. What I mean by that is probably half of them for all those guys were really good looks, and the rest, they were on a roll and really earned those buckets. And I mean, Mace's quick release, he was really on point with his feet and getting it up quick. And I can tell you when a player gets hot like that, there's one thing for sure: they put in a lot of work. And not many people work harder on their craft than Mackay, Brady, and MaCio. I mean, there's a reason those guys make shots like that.
You're now 5 games back from the COVID pause. There was that talk about his 3 games, what's necessary to get back. How do you feel like you all are playing compared to pre-COVID pause now?
I think defensively we're still not where we're capable, but obviously no one's going to argue with shooting 15 for 24 and scoring 88 points against Texas Tech. I mean, that normally it takes 2 games to do that. So obviously offensively we're flowing. Defensively, I think we can still get better. And remember, when you take those 3 weeks off, everyone else gets better, you get worse. And the defensive part of things, there's a lot of times where just the communication and rotations and being on point with that, the more we get a chance to rep things. And we haven't had much practice since we've been back. That's been, as you know, it's basically games. So at some point we'll get a couple practices in where we can really hopefully get us back to being the elite defensive team we are. And we're good, but I know we're capable of being better.
Next question with David Smoke from David Smoke from Sikkim 365. Long day.
What's he drinking over here, Smokey?
Maybe something pretty good here.
Yeah.
Scott, it was a week ago yesterday when you suffered your first loss, and obviously there was a lot of work to be done between now and where you are. Did the schedule of who you had to play end up in the long run being the best thing possible to get you sharp again?
Well, the good thing about the Big 12, virtually whoever you play is going to get you sharp because they're a good team. They're well coached and obviously great players. But I think the teams that we faced were the hottest of the Big 12, so you even had to be better because one thing about this league, everyone goes through ebbs and flows, and when you get on a 3, 4, 5-game win streak, those teams are really rolling. And that doesn't happen often in the Big 12. So for us to face so many teams that were on a roll and had win streaks and be able to be successful, we knew we had to really be on point.
Can you try to describe really how much it took to get back to this point as a team with the pause and now where you're playing? It appears as if you're so close to being back to where you were.
Well, I think we're blessed because without a lot of practice time, you have to learn through film and walk through. And we have a veteran crew, and normally younger teams they need more reps at things. Veteran teams, you can do things with fewer reps. So I think our maturity and intelligence definitely helps.
Next question from Matt Mosley with ESPN Central Texas.
Scott, do you feel like you're locked into the number 1 seed? I mean, as a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. I'm just wondering how you kind of balance all that as you get ready for this conference tournament. Because I remember in the past, I mean, it's all about the big dance, and that's always been a balance for you because that's always been a priority. I'm just kind of wondering how you balance all that.
Well, good question. Lenardi will tell you if we're a lock for number 1. He's usually right. But I know with us, we haven't. Our goal has never been to be a number 1 seed. We've had other things we've wanted to accomplish, and we've never won the Big 12 tournament. So that is a goal of ours. And if you win that, obviously it improves your number 1 status. The good thing in the Big 12, if you don't win it, there's virtually not many losses that are going to really hurt you because there's so many talented teams. So that are ranked high, and teams that are on a roll, definitely coaches would all prefer to go into March on a roll. It doesn't mean you have to do that. I think Texas Tech lost early in the Big 12 tournament and then was that the year they went to the championship game? Is that right, DK?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's nothing that says you have to, but I know all coaches feel when you're winning and you're confident, that's a much better way to go in the NCAA tournament.
You're not going to be resting starters in that first game.
No. And one thing about the Big 12, if you rest your starters, you're not advancing to the second round, that's for sure.
Next question from Jack Allen with KXXV TV in Waco.
Scott, you guys kind of had that game in hand there with the final few minutes. How nice was it to be able to kind of clear the bench out to be able to get some guys some playing time in this last game at the Farrell Center?
Well, I think the only other thing that would have been more fitting would have been to get a bucket by Jackson Moffitt, because I know he's the last one that hadn't scored this year, and I thought that three was in. And but maybe at some point we can get him that field goal, because he does so much for our team. And it's great to reward like a Patterson being able to play on senior night.
And then finally, just with the way that the game played out, were you able to take a moment there near the end and just be able to soak in everything that you've been able to accomplish this year?
Honestly, no. I was hoping Jackson get a bucket. So, and you're dialed in, and Coach Tang's the best. He actually told me, make sure you enjoy this. and again, I think when you see your players excited and celebrating, but in the Big 12, you're never really happy. Meaning like you don't lose focus till that horn goes off, because you're always, no matter what, you want to finish right.